Hello and welcome to our site here in Worcestershire. We're live and we don't normally dress like this as if we're in the garden, but today that's exactly what we are doing. We are going to be doing a bit of gardening, and it's to celebrate the launch of our CSR Charter, which is our commitment to the environment, to the community and well-being. So over the next 20 minutes, we are going to be planting 40 trees to celebrate our 40th anniversary of being in business. So guys, you better get going. So to minimise travel, we are live to our London office. We're also streaming to our clients and to our suppliers. And if you've got any questions along the way, please type them into the portal. And if you're in their London office, we're going to go be live to you in a few minutes. So our CSR journey started over 12 years ago when a chance meeting with Sam Wilson from Eco Events started that journey. Sam has helped us and worked with us for the last 12 years when we originally got BS 8901 and then 2012 one, and looking at our systems and processes. Now Sam's in our London office. Sam, how important is the whole sustainability piece for organisations like DRPG?
Hello Dale, and a warm welcome everybody. So it's really essential for all organisations to understand what I call their sustainability hotspots, where they can make the biggest difference. And for organisations like DRPG, this isn't just about the activities and the impacts related to your activities. It's also about using your brilliance, so your creative communication skills, to mobilise and amplify positive change. And that's amongst all stakeholders. That's amongst clients, suppliers, your internal team, event attendees and the audiences. A little bit like what you're doing today, Dale, actually.
Okay, thanks Sam. So around 12 months ago, we started to feel that the whole sustainability piece was getting a little bit samey. In some sectors, it was still a tick box exercise. So Cecilia from our marketing department, she joined us 12 months ago, and she's really passionate about sustainability. And she suggested a policy around a charter and creation of a CSR charter. So unfortunately, on our launch day, Cecilia's not very well, so we're going back to London with Ryan from our marketing department, who's with Sam. Ryan, tell us about Cecilia's passion and why she wanted to do this.
Yes, as Dal mentions, obviously Cecilia has been working on this, and unfortunately she's not here today due to being unwell, so we wish her better. I think the first thing was we wanted to get a public-facing manifesto, and Cecilia came to us with this idea 12 months ago, and obviously has been working on this as a consultancy and a collaboration with Eco Events with Sam as well. And the idea of the CSR Charter was, the aim was to create a trust and transparency to all of our stakeholders and how DRPG is doing good business responsibly and sustainably. And I think the other key here is, moreover, is that as we operate as a global space, what we're trying to do and what we are doing is aligning our efforts with the UN Global Compact Sustainable Development Goals, which gives us greater clarity and also is able to contribute to not just our immediate environments but widely as a society of what we can do as a force. And it's a really exciting thing, and today is the day that we get to launch that and really shout about it as well.
Great, thanks Ryan. And you can see images on the screen from the charter, which will be available on our website after this broadcast. So Sam, what's the impact really now with the ISOs, the 14001 and the 2012 one?
Well, the ISOs are a moving feast. They're really a framework within which you operate. So the fact that you had those there in the first place really enabled us to hone in and target those values, those areas where DRPG can make the biggest difference. And as part of that process, we've been streamlining, we've been making it much less about paperwork and more about action, and making those effects really tangible and real and relevant.
Great, so I've moved out to see what the guys are up to here. Now we're a big site, we're 4.5 acres, 300 of our team, out of the 350 of our team, work on this site. And we have about 7,000 visitors a year. So really, this site has to become our focus, first of all. And part of this tree planting is that. So tell us, guys, what are you actually doing today? Carl, so what are these trees?
Well, they're apple trees, I think. I'm not sure what this one is. Yeah, it's a apple tree, yeah. And we're just digging the hole, getting it in the ground, and yeah.
Great, and it's going all the way around there. So looking forward to eating these apples in a couple of years' time. And of course, another big part of it is our CSR challenges, and we've set ourselves 40 challenges this year to complete over the 12 months, and it's part of hundreds of challenges that we've done over the years. And Rachel and James, tell us a little bit about the type of stuff we've done in the past.
So I've been here for about 13 years. I'm within technical services, and we've raised a hell of a lot of money for local charities. So we've done the Three Peaks Challenge, a 24-hour rowing challenge. We rowed a rickshaw from our London office in Covent Garden all the way up to here in Hartlebury, and a team of us did the Birmingham Velo as well, all raising money for local charities.
Because what I'm trying to convince the team to do now is to do it from our Cologne office now to here in that rickshaw. But
we'll cheer you on, Dale.
Thank you. And James, tell us about some of the stuff you've been involved in from your point of view.
So this isn't actually our first tree planting exercise, is it? I think our 30th, we planted 30 trees in an area of outstanding scientific interest, wasn't it? An area of scientific interest. We've also worked with local schools. We've helped restore ponds, protecting newts. There's lots of things we've been doing.
And you're involved in one of the projects this year. Tell us a little bit about that.
So my eco warrior of a son has found an internet search engine that every time you do a search, they go towards the revenue goes towards planting trees all over the world.
So it's as simple as that. Really
simple as that. Using a different browser, different search engine, help plant trees.
And one thing that's really close to my heart is how we bring on the next generation. And one of those projects is called Sparks. And it seems quite fitting. We've got George here. Come on closer, George. One of our apprentices who works in our academy, who's been working on this Sparks programme. Tell us about it, George.
So Sparks is our schools programme. We realised there's not much in the creative industry to get people to come into our industry, so we created one ourselves. So we've partnered with 10 local schools. Each school gets a guest speaker, an apprentice assembly. They get training packages designed by us, and they get to come in and learn a bit more about what we do.
Brilliant, thank you very much. So environmentally, what are we doing then more on this site to make us carbon zero? And let's go on the roof to look at one of the initiatives and speak to Richard.
Thanks, Dale. I'm just on our brand new roof overlooking the beautiful views of Worcestershire. So over the last 12 months, we've really seen some big developments on our site, with 2 new buildings, a new roof system, and some landscaping across some key areas in our business. This has given us the opportunity to look at the environmental impact of our facilities, from tree planting, insulation, water usage, and energy saving. It's the energy saving we're really focusing on at the moment. Over the next few weeks, over 700 solar panels will be installed across the warehouse behind me. This will give us over 194 kilowatts of renewable energy, while saving over 100 tonnes of carbon each year. So all of this is part of a £2.5 million investment into the infrastructure here on this site. Back to you, Dale.
Thanks, Richard. And it's not just about those big projects like solar panels, it's about the small things as well. So we formed our environmental team, and there's just a few representatives of that team who talk about some of the things that we're doing, some of those simple things. Sophie.
We're looking at fair trade in the team cafe. We've already banned plastic bottles, and ultimately we'd like to go single-use plastic free.
Yeah. And waste?
So we are trying to reduce our waste on site and at our events, and we're aiming to be zero to landfill by the end of the year.
And what about resourcing?
So a couple of examples of how we've thought about resourcing is in print, we've eradicated vinyl, and also in the tech team with carpets, we're trying to use eradicate single-use carpets, so we have reusable carpets.
Okay. And Andrew, you're integrity manager, which sounds very grand. What does that involve?
Basically, I'm responsible for all the management systems for audits and compliance. Okay. This is to ensure that we achieve our objectives and maintain the integrity of our business. I also support the team with sustainability, environmental management, health and safety and security.
And on that regulation piece and compliance, presumably we get audited quite a lot.
Yes, from accreditation bodies, clients, on a range of compliance issues.
Fantastic. So we talked a lot about internally what we're doing. What about our suppliers and our clients? And I've got with me now Gemma, who's in our live area from a key account manager or head of key accounts. Gemma, talk about externally what we're doing with our suppliers and our clients.
So as part of our commitment to sustainability, we monitor our suppliers' activity. Some of what used to be voluntary is now mandatory, and therefore with our processes, and therefore we're helping with support and guidance for our suppliers. So for example, when we're using an external venue, we're looking at their commitment to their sustainability backed up by real actions. So are they supplying tap water instead of bottled water, and do they have a sustainability policy in place?
Okay. And from a client point of view, they come to us and want to create a more sustainable event. How can we help?
We're increasingly being asked by clients to look at their events and projects and make them more sustainable. So that might be things like having a local project, community project involved as part of the event, looking at landfill and waste, local sourcing, travel for delegates and offsetting. Yeah. So we're always looking to reduce the impacts that project has on the local community and the environment.
Okay. And one thing I've heard clients say in the past, well, isn't it going to cost us more money?
Not really, and in some cases it can actually reduce costs. So for an example, we had a recent event for a food client and managed to reduce their costs by around £4,000 on landfill just by looking at things from a slightly different angle.
Brilliant. And from your point of view, Andrew, will you be recording all this activity?
I'll record all the project data in the management systems.
Yeah, brilliant. Great, thank you. So there it is. The guys are still planting. I think they're digging or struggling a little bit with some of these holes here. Our CSR Charter is our commitment to the environment, our commitment to the community, and say to well-being. And it will be our roadmap for the next 10 years. So what I'd like to do now is open up for questions. So I think let's go to London first. Have you got any questions?
Yeah, we have. So one question that's come in is, will we be looking to provide this CSR Charter as a service to support our clients, and how will we go about doing that? So I think it's one for yourself, Dal, and also yourself as well, Sam.
Yeah, I think from our point of view, as Gemma said, absolutely we'll be looking at where we can support our current clients, but also other organisations that may need support. I think we can work together, and Sam, I think you can fill in on here how we can support other organisations.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right. I think there are two things here. There's one with coming up with your hotspots and understanding what they are, and then setting some measurable actions to do something about them, and increase your sustainability and reduce your environmental impact. But the whole other area is how do we engage? How do we mobilise change? How do we incentivise our teams? How do we incentivise our suppliers and our clients to take action? And I think that's really where companies like DRPG can have an immense valuable effect.
A couple more questions have just come in as well. So, Dal, how easy was it to engage the rest of the team with obviously this charter?
Yeah, it was actually really simple. I mean, it was the team that's driven this, and predominantly, majority of the 40 challenges that we're doing has come from the team. So the team are incredibly engaged. And I think if we didn't do it, then we'd have a bit of a problem in the organisation. So there's been no problem with engagement whatsoever.
Can I just say something there?
Yeah, sure. Go on, Sam.
I just want to say that the leadership that you've given, Del, and I've worked with you for 12 years, and the leadership you've given has been exemplary. And I think it's really an example to any leader in any organisation. We need leaders to step up and put sustainability at the top of the agenda. And secondly, and this is what you've done really well, is keep it there. So yeah, just a little bit of a word there about your leadership. I think is deserved.
That was unscripted, I'd say.
One other question that's come in: we now have the CSR Charter at DRPG. So what's next for you guys?
I think really big for us is to make it work. This is not a document that's just going to be fixed and that's it for the next few years. It's going to be a dynamic document. It will keep moving and changing and switching and adding to and developing as we go on. So it's going to be looking for bigger opportunities going forward of how we can make ourselves more sustainable.
And I think one final one that's come in is how can the industry learn from this?
I'm hoping we can set a precedent. We certainly want to work with the industry. We're not in competition when it comes to this topic. We need to collaborate together, and actually part of our charter and our commitment is to collaborate with the industry, share our ideas, share our initiatives, and try and bring the industry along with us.
Fantastic.
Any other questions? No, I think that's it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And how are we doing with the trees? Well, we've got some in. The guys are going to carry on planting, I'm sure. So from us here in Hartlebury, goodbye.